So guys, it's Easy here with another dev diary, the last one before the official update. You probably have noticed it on the official forum and on Discord that I announced the official update to come on Monday, next week Monday at 9 p.m. GMT plus 2. That's European Western time, so that's 9 p.m. on Monday. As you can see, I'm here on the Total RTS forum. That's the official forum, of course, of the mods. And if you're ever making sub modes or you're making units, additional unit packs or whatsoever, and you like to put it on a forum or whatsoever, you know, you're all welcome to put it on the forum. If you need any help, you can always PM me. I always notice the messages directly, so I will respond as fast as I can. And if you have other mods for other RTS games, then let me know you like to put it, no problem. So here I'm on the forum on the download page of the Scramble of the Far East version 2. And as you can see, I already added some data on it, changelog beta 5. I added a lot of stuff, of course, and I'm sure I forgot a lot of stuff to add. Those are the things I actually remember. But to be quite honest, the changes are pretty huge from beta 4 to beta 5. So, I mean, it's for you to discover what have been added. I think I've given some dev diaries where I add some new stuff and whatsoever. But there are some stuff that I added that I didn't mention in the last videos. For example, I changed the reload of the muskets back to vanilla, because it looked that a lot of people didn't like it that much, so I added back to the vanilla style, you could say. I mean, the animation is still there. If you know something about Packfile Manager or Rusted Packfile Manager, you can still activate it. So here you can see in the Total Fall of the Samurai download installation. Now, the changes that has been done is now the official releases will be always added at moddb. I will explain also later for why that is, but to be short, moddb is for modders. It's easy to add mods and whatsoever, and yeah, it makes it easy for me as a modder to put a lot of files and updates and whatsoever, plus some pictures and whatsoever. Not that much as a forum, but it makes it easy. Okay, here I also explain, of course, when it's coming, the date, and also add a manual installation instruction. So that's for now already. I also have an auto installer, and as you can see, I'm already uploading it on the moddb forum, at least part 1. I still have to put part 2. So later, I think on Monday, I'll make a video of it, how to install manually the mod, and of course how to install with installer. I also will show you a sneak peek of how the installer works, because I had some issues before with it. Some files were corrupted and whatsoever through the compressing of the files. I mean, of compressing it back to a zip file. There were some issues. Sometimes I have it, I don't know why, but yeah, sometimes 7-zip for one reason corrupts some files when compressing it to a zip file, for example. But so I've tested it again myself, and normally it has to work. But I will explain in the auto installer, when I'm doing the video for the auto installer, how to download directly from moddb. I will do everything with you, the steps, so then you know how it works. Because in moddb you have to do some extra steps, you could say. So okay, so I explain here how to do the manual installation. So on moddb, so if you go on it, let me go back to the forum. So you click on the link here. As you can see, you come directly on the Scramble of the Far East one. As you can see, I already added all the beta 5 files. So you have part 1, option 1, 2 and 3. Those are the manual ones. So when it doesn't say auto installer, those are the manual ones. So you click on more files, you can see the auto installer are being made. Beta 4 is still available if you are still want to play beta 4. Of course, that's a manual installation, but it's archived. So of course I do not help or could say do not update up beta 4, you know, you go to higher beta. So in if you go, for example, into part 5, you can see here's a countdown: 4 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes, 41 seconds, at least for now. That means that you can then, in that moment when it, of course, countdown hits 0, you can download the manual folder, and of course all the other ones. So here also explain, you have a description here with an installation, again the same as a forum, so you can then read it if you need something, or you need to know how to install it. But as I said, I will make a video of it, because I know sometimes a video is easier than seeing or reading some text. So just a little recap. Part 1 and part 2 are the core manual installation. Those are the core files. So if you do not want to have any option files that replaces the core main pack, you could say, then you can just download part 1 and part 2 manual. If you want to have, for example, option 1 is the file where it removes the general bodyguards unit, I mean not the unit but the mounted standard bearer, because it has a bug that sadly can't take out. The bug is that, or glitch, is when the unit that have, of course, rifles or revolvers, you could say, when they start firing or reloading, it starts doing the T-pose in the air, sadly. Only in that moment. The other moment doesn't do nothing. Sometimes it still does crazy stuff, but not like crazy like that. So sadly I couldn't take out. I tried many animations, I created even custom animation for it, didn't work. So yeah, that option 1 removes the mounted standard bearer if it annoys you, you could say. Option 2 is it removes trails and smoke from gunpowder units. Not from buildings and whatsoever, just gunpowder units, because most on the battlefield it's smoke gets generated from gunpowder units, of course. So if people have maybe low-end PCs and do not want to turn off the particle effects, then they can just use this option to remove the smoke from cannons and muskets and whatsoever. And also it removes trails, just for you to know. Okay, option 3 is a combination of option 1 and 2. It means it will remove the general mounted standard bearer in the general bodyguards unit, and of course it removes the trails and smoke from gunpowder units, of course. What is important, and of course I'll explain it in the manual installation video, if you download an option, for example option 1, then you have to manually delete the main pack file in the folder, in the data folder, in the Shogun 2 data folder. So you can only have one main pack file. I will show you a bit of an example which pack files you need to have if you choose one of the options. But let us move now to the installer. This is installer part 2 because I am uploading part 1 here. So as you can see, it has another installation part, a bit more detailed, of course, because you have to do a little bit extra steps. But as I say, Monday I will create an installation video for the installer. I will show you today a little video how to use it, you could say. But from ModDB you need to do a little bit of an extra step, you could say, because I have to change a bit the way it works. But here you can see, maybe that can help you. The option default, these are the 13 packs you need to have. So in the core files you have all those files and also the main default pack in manual installation. In the auto installer, not. I will tell you what it is. You will probably, in the auto installer you have an options that you have to click, so it makes it a bit easier, except it doesn't switch the folder files, so sadly. I hope maybe if I can learn a bit more of the scripting of that installer, then I'll learn a bit more, maybe I can do it. But there is another installer coming, made custom by another modder that I know. He created the American revolutionary mod on Empire Total War. Is HIP, and HIP made a special installer for the mod where you can actually install the mod and switch the option files. Actually makes it a bit easier, except you need 7-zip for that, but I will explain it in a later video. So here you can see what 13 pack files you need when you're running the mod. So if you're taking option 1, they are all the same except the main. And here you have main option 1, and here you have main default 1. So if you are installing main option 1, that's the file you're downloading if you're downloading manual. So it means that this one has to be deleted. If you download, of course, option 2, this one, then you have to delete main default 1. Or which option file, which main file there is, you have to delete it. You can only have one total fv2 main file. That's it. The rest is all the same. Don't touch that one. Okay, so that's now a bit of an explanation how things will work here. So here I am, of course, uploading this one, so that's perfect. Let's go back here to our folder here. I will show you an example of the installer I made. That's in theory the end phase when you download MongoDB. These are the 3 files you need to have. They have to be in one folder, doesn't matter which folder, as long as they're all together. So you have to have the executable, the first bin file, and the second bin file. So what you just do is you double click on it, you say yes, I accept the EULA or the rights paper, whatever, click on next. This is a very important message, so it's important to read it, not just click, 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 next, next, next. Just read it. It's very important sometimes. First, be aware that the game must be unmodded. This will prevent a crash of the game, or even some parts will just not work. And it is recommended that you have all available Shogun 2 DLCs and expansions for a compatible reason. Now this is actually pretty softly, because it's not even recommended. I say recommended because it's partially like that. It's possible that you can still play it, but the thing is that a lot of options from all Shogun 2 games and DLCs have been modded. For example, in Rise of the Samurai, a lot of factions that are in the custom battle factions, you could say, they are being remodded to another faction. For example, Central American one or whatsoever. So yeah, if you do not have that Rise of the Samurai expansion pack, you can't play those units, neither that nation. Same with Shogun 2 factions, a lot of them have been revamped towards mid-Victorian age style nations. If you don't have it, you can't play it. So, same even for can't speak English anymore, sorry. Same for Fall of the Samurai. We have some faction packs. You need those faction packs. Just for you to know, you need faction packs, and the reason why is that, for example, if you want to play like with the United States and the units, you need the Obama faction pack expansion from, or DLC from Fall of the Samurai. My recommendation, just have all of it. Just Shogun 2, Rise of the Samurai, Fall of the Samurai, and all these DLCs. Yeah, no, that's not always easy, because if you look on Steam, it isn't that cheap, but sometimes you get Steam sales, you get 75% or more off, or even some YouTubers, they have like an agreement with some gaming publisher companies that sell those stuff on their websites, and you get a lot of like big discounts. So maybe use their discount code, so then they get also a part. And like, for I think example, I bought 3K or 3 Kingdoms with one of Jackie Fish's discounts on Games Planet, and it was much cheaper. So you can also do that, but I've just recommend it to have it all, you know, just so you know. So let's go to next, and here it will install in the Shogun 2 data folder by default, so it's on the C drive, of course. So if not, you can browse it to where your data folder is of Shogun 2. I click on next, it will tell you, yeah, Shogun 2 data folder already exists. Would you like to install in that folder anyway? Yes. And here, this is very important. You see, you have the core files, they are grayed out, so you can't click it or whatsoever. And those are the core files, you always need them. And then you have the options. Now, option default is, as I explained, there's a difference between the manual installation and the auto installer, The option default is actually just the default game, the default mod. Option 1, of course, is the no mountain standard barrier in the general's unit. Option 2 is no smoke and trail, and option 3 is option 1 and 2, a combination of them. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 options, but you can only choose one option. If you choose them all and you click on next, it will install normally, but it will then put all those files there and load them all, and probably you will have a CTD. It means a crash on desktop, so you don't want to have it. So for sake of this video, I would take the default one that I always use. I don't use those other ones, I don't need it. So if you want to just click one, if you say okay, I want just no smoke and trail, but I want to keep still the default stuff, other default stuff, then just use core files and option 2. If you say I want option 3, that means option 1 and 2, then use option 3, but I will use option default. Click on next, next. So here you will see selected components, core files, and option default, and install the game. So now it will start installing the game. And that we are busy with that, I'm going, that is my Discord. It's already finished. So as you can see, I finished doing that file, so I can normally save it, save the download. Okay, so as you can see, you click on it, everything will be added on ModDB. It means the installer will be added, and the manual installation, maybe some additional unit packs, maybe some submodes or whatsoever, who knows, possible. But now everything will be added on ModDB. It is just much easier for me to put everything in one place, not like a lot of places, so it makes it easier for me. Okay, so that one has been saved. Perfect. Change have been saved. Go back to the files. So as you can see, let's go to let's go to summary. As you can see, I changed a bit the way it looks. Not that much. Doesn't have to be that fancy. I have my forum for that to be fancy. As you can see underneath, it's installing the mod packs. So we leave it like that. Now the installation can take a while. It depends on hard drive, of course. I have an M.2 slot, so it's pretty fast, even faster than an SSD. So yeah, if you have a mechanical hard drive, it will take a bit more time. Just be patient, leave the entire loading time, don't start clicking on everything. And of course, it is recommended not to have any other programs open. Recommended. I'm just saying, you never know, of course. So normally it will execute by administrator, as an administrator, so you have to have administrator rights, of course, also on your PC. If you don't have it, then you can't do it. Sorry. Okay, good. So what is the plan of the mod? So as you can see, it is V2 Scramble of the Far East. It means it concentrates on the Far East, so not on anywhere else. So there are future plans, but now we have only 2 plans. First plan is we will have a mini campaign, hopefully ready this year, end of this year, with the tier 1 units at least, and ships. So that is my goal. I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but that's at least my goal. So the mini campaign will concentrate on Rise of the Sun Empire, that's the title of it, and that will concentrate on the rise of Japan as an imperial power. And the campaign will focus on Korea, Japan, Outer Manchuria, and Russia Far East as a landmass. The one that you already have seen in the previous versions, that's the landmass that we are going to use. So it actually goes further on version 1, on unequal treaties, so you can read for yourself. So on the, of course, you can play with Western powers, so Western military powers will be added in the game that had some dealings with the Japanese in the mixed Victorian age. Yeah, I know that, for example, Prussia didn't have so much profound dealings as, you could say, the French and the British, or the States, you could say. But they did had, you could say, a a trading dealing, you could say. Was this Ulenberg trading mission it was towards Japan, actually the entire Far East. So that's why I use that as, like to add Prussia into the game. Makes it a bit interesting also. So you have some Western powers that had some dealings with Japan in that period. Second plan is, of course, to add the real big campaign, and that is the Rise of Imperialism campaign. So the plan is to have a landmass from India to Japan. So Rise of Imperialism, we all know that time frame, starting from the first Opium War towards the end of you could say the Russo-Japanese War. Now I'm not going to add the first Opium War, I'm going to start after, and the reason why I'm going to start after in the same year as this one, 1857, 1858, is because, to have a lot of imperial power, in that time, a lot of imperial powers had colonies in that time. So then at least they have colonies, like the British had Hong Kong, French were starting to invade Indochina, and etc. and etc. So that is why I want to start from that date. So as you can see, the installer has finished, and okay, let me just click on finish, and that's actually it. We can of course check it in our C drive. So I go to Steam apps, common, Total War Shogun 2, data, and as you can see, it will install the pack files, and as you see, the main default pack is being installed. If I did not push on the option, it will only install this file, the other 12 files, not that file. But of course, this is the main file, this is the database, this is where they actually take the information from. You need to have a main pack file. Doesn't matter default option one, but you just can't have only one main file. So you also have an uninstaller. That makes it easy if you say, okay, because for the moment the installer, you can't switch options. So if you need, or if you want to have another option to play with, for example, you want to have no standard bearer in the general's unit, well, the only option is to click on uninstall. This will uninstall everything. Okay, as you see, it's back clean, and then you have to, of course, where is the file here? Then you have to go back and install the game again. So now the other installer that HIP is making for me, you can do that, except you need 7-zip for that, just for you to know. But I will put everything in the information to make it easy for you how to install the game easier. I think an installer is always much easier than, for example, manual installation. So I explained what is the plan. At least those are the two plans we have. That's already the big plan. I have future plans, but I want to focus first on the mini campaign, then on this one, and then we will see. So okay, so everything will be, as I said previously, will be added on ModDB. You can click on more files here where you can see the manual installation and the auto installers. There are two parts, you need both of them. Now on Steam, let's go to games, go to the workshop, what else I've posted. As you can see, I've changed the icon. For the moment, it's invisible. It will be visible on Monday at 9 PM GMT+2, just for you to know. But there is a difference now. This version here on Steam will not have downloadable content. So here I see clearly, info only, do not subscribe. So if you scroll down, you go to the description, as I said, read the description, important description. Here I explain again a bit the same thing that I did with ModDB, except here I actually explain why I do not put any files anymore on the Steam Workshop. You can read it of course for yourself, just to say it or recap it. The reason lies with the limitation of the Steam Workshop. I can only upload 100 megabyte max per file, or per mod, or whatever it may be. So yeah, it's a bit ridiculous for me. As you can see, the total file size is already just for tier 1 units and for some tweaks 11 gigabytes because of the amount of unit parts that have been added, new of them. I mean, and it still will grow because I still need to do the South American nations tier 1, the European nations tier 1, the Asian nations tier 1, and the African nations tier 1. So yeah, I mean, this will be probably already 30 gigs, for example, just for the tier 1 units. So, but I'm not even talking about the ships that will come, artillery and whatsoever. Just say around 20 to 30 gigs for just the tier 1 units. So that's, you know, I mean, 100 megabytes, that means only for this file I need 1100 files to upload here on Steam Workshop. Now, you can see a lot of people say, yeah, but how is it possible? Because from Rome 2 Total War, there are big overhauls on the Steam Workshop, and that is correct because you know, starting from Rome 2 Total War, you can upload as much games, as much or much more data than, for example, prior to Rome 2 Total War. So yeah, in that case, yeah, lucky for them. I wish I had it, but I don't have it, so there's a limitation for us as modders. So yeah, I can't do nothing about it. The same with the mod I'm helping out sometimes. That's the Last Alliance mod, has the same issue. I cannot put it on the Steam Workshop, only has information. So yeah, I'm sorry about it, but I cannot do nothing about it. You know, if you want to complain, you have to complain to CA about it or to Steam about it. Probably CA, I think they have to unlock it. But sadly, I really want it because I know it's easy. You just have to subscribe and you have the mod packs. True, it's pretty easy, but sadly I can't. That is why I'm creating so many installers and whatsoever to make it easy for you. So then you know it for next time. On Monday you will see this, and yeah, do not subscribe because yeah, for what point? There's no point of subscribing to it because yeah, it's just impossible for me to do. So then you know about Steam. It will be there for information, and when I have a future update, I will do the same thing. Change the subscription. Change the description and whatsoever and the title, so then you know that there will be, or there is an update. Of course, I added the link here, so if you need to download, you go directly to the download page of the Total RTS Mods forum, and from there you can just download the things you just have seen with ModTP. So I think that's it. So if you have any questions, you can always join my Discord. Here's my Discord. So you can join my Discord. And you can also, of course, support me on Patreon. I have a link on my Patreon on the Steam Workshop here down. You have here the Discord link and my Patreon link. I appreciate, of course, every help you give me. I have a lot of plans, as I said before, and I will probably do a lot of extra things for Patreon. You get a lot of new things. Yeah, I mean, new things. You get, you could say, you get pre-alphas or alphas. You get pre-betas. For example, my Patreons already get, if you are a total FotS member or supporter, you get the pre-beta or the beta already before a week before you can play it or test it out. So then gives me a bit of time to add all the information or whatsoever. And if you're a FotS member, total FotS member, then you get even the alphas. Those are the little snippets. So every time for new things, then you can directly test it out for yourself. There's a possibility I will even add kind of, you know, the unit packs and whatsoever just for Patreons. Who knows? I try not, but I mean, if you want to support me, of course, you're welcome. So then you know, it helps a lot financially sometimes, because with this, for example, I bought the installer. I mean, I didn't bought it. I bought the graphical user interface, so it makes it easier for me to create a script to have a graphical user interface, and I also buy assets for the mod. Because not, you know, making everything from scratch takes a lot of time, and sometimes there are things that are just too big that I just do not have time for it. So I buy those assets, 3D assets, for example, for the mods, and I just give it for you for free. So that's why the Patreon support helps me a lot to buy assets. and with this I just can give you more content, newer content for free. So yeah, I think that is it for today. So check out the Total RTS forum and MultiB, of course, on the day it comes out. I am planning to do some multiplayer battles when it comes out. I'm going to put everything on my Discord. It is a vacation month, so most of you normally have more time, you could say, if you're not on vacation, of course, to do some multiplayer battles. So I'm going to do a multiplayer battle. There is a possibility I'm going to do a tournament with a prize, you could say. So I will see. I still have to think what to do, kind of a prize or whatsoever. It has to be cool, for everyone. So, but I think it's cool to do one time a tournament for you guys, to have at least 10 people to battle. That will be freaking awesome. Yeah, that'd be really awesome to do that with all of you, and the winner then can win a prize. Still have to think about it, but check out my Discord. Normally I put all the information there, and on the official forum, of course. So yeah, that was it for today, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and don't hesitate to ask questions, and I'll see you then another time, guys. Bye bye.